Hey, everybody, I'm Frank Hannon, lead guitarist of Tesla. And get ready, because here it comes. We go to 11.
Radio Amor.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
You're here. You're Frank Hannon, and we love Tesla. So, for starters, I mean, huge fan of Tesla going back to 86. In fact, it was interesting because Mechanical Resonance, at the 38-year anniversary this December 8th, which happens to be my birthday, by the way. And I remember buying that album because on release date, which was probably a Tuesday way back when. But the reason I remember picking that up on release date at Tower Records in Portland, Oregon, is because that night for my birthday, my dad had taken me to the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon to see David Lee Roth and Cinderella. But we needed to stop by Tower Records to pick up the Tesla album. So I know for a fact I got it on release date. So, geez, time flies.
Yeah, boy, you're bringing back some good memories. I went and saw Cinderella at the Cow Palace,
Okay.
opening for David Lee Roth, and
Mhm.
then a week later, we got the phone call that Tesla was going to open for David Lee Roth on that
Right.
same tour because Cinderella left the tour.
Right.
So yeah, what a good time. Well, happy
Yeah.
belated birthday recently, and happy belated birthday 38 years ago, my
No
friend.
kidding. That's awesome. I mean, what a heck of a birthday. So you guys, Tesla, have a new a single that you guys EP, I guess. All about love. Vinyl, digital. I'm gonna hammer you in a minute about the CD thing because I'm a CD guy still. But well, how did that come to be? And was that a tune that is it a fresh tune, or is it something that's kind of been, I guess, marinating over a few years or something?
Well, you're right. It did marinate because we started the concept of the song right when COVID shut us down.
Mhm.
2020, the first part is COVID-19 when they made everybody stay home.
Right.
And our singer Jeff came over to my house, and I had been playing around with those guitar chords, those real pretty kind of melodic open string guitar chords that are in the song. And he was feeling very worried at the time about not knowing what to do and what we can do. So that's where the first verse started on that song. And then I made a little demo of it in my home studio. And then I played it for Brian. And I told him, I said, Brian, I really want to rock this song out instead of having it be real mellow like it sounded at first. So we just kept playing with it. And then once we got COVID lifted and we went back on the road again, and we did Time to Rock, we did Cold Blue Steel, we were putting out our singles.
Mhm.
I went back to the guys and I said, "Hey, we've got this really pretty song all about love. We should look at that and learn it." So we did. We started playing it at the gigs and at sound check over the past year, and we decided to create something different, both acoustic and electric versions of it, because it's one of those songs that can be done either way. And Tesla does both of those things anyway. So
Mhm.
we thought that would be a cool way to present the song, you know?
And there's, I think 4 versions of it, right? I mean, you got the electric, the acoustic, and then you have one that kinda combines the 2, and then a live version. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like you're gonna get an overdose of All About Love. Real quick on that, because I think, like you mentioned, it was kind of a product of the whole COVID thing, and, that was kind of a downer for a lot of fans. I mean, I think the last show I saw rolling into what was it? When that kick in? Was it 19 or 8 or 20? I think 19 or something.
Well, they call it COVID-19 because
Yeah,
it
that's right.
came out in the 19, but
Yeah,
they didn't shut us down over here until 2020 and 2021.
that's right. Because I think the last show I saw leading up to the, well, COVID-19, there you go, And maybe I got brain rot from that as well. But
What a scam. It was a
yeah,
scamdemic. And we can have a
yeah,
whole nother pandemic conversation. But
right.
anyway,
Yeah, but the last show I saw was Blue Oyster Cult, and then things just kind of shut down for a couple years. And then, what an
it
awful
was
time for
horrible, man.
music fans.
Yeah, it was a hard time. And, so that being said, music is always an escape. And Tesla's lyrics and our singer in particular, Jeff Keith, is a very emotional, heartfelt, emotionally driven person. And we have taken a lot of purposeful direction on ourselves of keeping our music as an escape in a positive way. The lyrics are lyrics of hope and contributing that energy to the world with our music has always been our goal. So I'm very happy about that and very proud of the fact that Tesla has always had those kind of messages in our music and when people come to our shows, it's an escape and they're going to get entertained and it's going to feel good and it's real.
Right.
And that's kind of our motto.
Well, and the one thing about the new tune, "All About Love," does have this kind of melancholy type beginning to it, right? I mean, I think, and Jeff is great with that, with a lot of the ballad, type tunes and stuff like that. He does bring out that emotion, and it hits you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I feel very, very blessed to be friends with Jeff Keith for 40 years and to have been able to work with him as a songwriter and a collaborator in this band called Tesla. We appreciate it every day. We appreciate it and are grateful for the band that we have and this longevity that we've had. Just very grateful for that.
What because I mean, even back when there was that shift of musical kind of climate, you guys were still out hitting the road, and I mean, one of your better albums was into the Now. I mean, and that's pretty modern.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
my God, that's the tour you guys did with Scorpions, because I saw you guys at the Coliseum in Portland, and what a show and what a record.
Thank you. Yeah. Scorpions have always been very great to us, man. We went and toured with them and my cat this is my cat Monkey.
Oh, that's a big cat.
She was this big when I found her. I found
no
her in
way.
the parking lot of the grocery store up here.
Oh, geez.
She was a homeless feral cat and
Yeah.
she was meowing at me and she was literally that big. Now she's humongous.
Nice.
Anyway, back to the Scorpions, man. Yeah, they're one of our favorite bands. We used to play Scorpions music when we were kids, like Blackout, and and the Blackout album was huge for us. Rocky Like a Hurricane. We used to cover their songs, and so when we met them and toured with them over the years, even in the '90s, we went to Germany with them during their Winds of Change period.
Oh, yeah.
And had some great memories with them. But Into the Now, our album, we started working on that in the year 2000 when we got back together, and music had changed and gotten more modern and heavy production. So we were pursuing that direction on that album, and we were reinvigorated because we had been broke up for 4 years, and we were so happy to get back together and put that fire and that energy into that album. It's definitely one of my favorite Tesla albums as well.
It's awesome. What do you think is the secret to longevity with you guys? Because I mean, in a way, you guys, took a few hits because you kind of got lumped in, and as did Scorpions, with a lot of the '80s LA glam bands. But obviously, you're you're slightly different in the sense that it's more of a blue collar type band.
Well, music and life in general is always going to be doing this
Hmm.
and this and this. And we just had to maintain continuing to do this. And what that is work ethic, and the end goal. And
Hmm.
what is it going to take to reach that end goal? It's going to be no more getting fucked up and drunk and fighting and arguing and throwing it away and getting all emotional. Now we get in fights and arguments still, but we don't let that ruin the end goal of the picture.
Right.
And you know, it's an ego driven thing anyway, because every musician has their own personality of what they want to do. But somewhere along the lines, we learned to get past that on a destructive level
Right.
and just focus on that goal of constant appreciation for what we have. There's so many great bands that have come out and come and gone, one hit wonders, artists that I'm huge fans of that don't do what Tesla does, because I don't know why, whatever that reason is. And that makes me appreciate what we have even more. And we all have that mindset.
Right, right. Real quick, going back to the EP, um, whose suggestion was it to tackle Walk Away?
Well, that was really an accident, based on our live show. It was my suggestion to segue the songs live when we play live. And it just was one of those things that worked, because we did an album called Real to Real, which Walk Away was on Real to Real covers album that we
Right,
did.
right.
And it's such a fun song.
Mhm.
And we were doing a residency in Las Vegas, and we were changing our set list every night. And there was one particular night where we were playing All About Love, and then I started Walk Away, and it
Mhm.
just sounded good blending together.
Right.
And when we were looking for a live version of All About Love for this particular EP, we were listening to the recordings from Las Vegas, and there was no dead space between what we call
Oh,
a
okay.
segue,
Right, right.
and it just sounded good. And so Brian asked me, "Hey, what do you think about having that segue be on there?" And I said, "You know what? We're all about keeping it real. Let's keep it real and keep Walk Away on there too. Plus, we're very happy with that version, because Real to Real is a live album
Right.
too. It's all analog and live." And so it was just one of those happy accidents that worked out from the way we would play it live.
And that is an awesome collection that you guys put together. Volume
Thank
1,
you.
Volume 2, Reel to Reel, all sorts of
Yeah, that was fun
killer stuff.
times.
Oh, you guys did UFO. I mean, you can't go wrong with UFO.
Oh, Thin Lizzy. We
Yeah.
did Bad Reputation. We did Frampton Comes Alive on that thing. We did, oh man, all kinds of fun covers. And it was all live in the studio. And so that was the other thing as well with this new EP. It's a 12-inch vinyl, by the way. The
Uh-huh.
vinyl is the hippest part about it. And now we'll get back to your CD
Yeah.
cravings.
Yeah.
You know, if we can make an orange CD, maybe we can do it. With
Well,
the
there's
orange vinyl, it's a 12-inch vinyl, and it's like psychedelic orange. And
Right.
and the artwork I designed with the 60s kind of flair to it.
And it kind of goes with Jeff, right? He's kind of a hippie, and
Yeah,
and
we're
maybe
all kind of
you got a
hippies.
little,
I'm more
maybe
of
you
the
got a little
heavy.
bit of that yourself too. I mean, you guys
I'm
are
the heavy metal hippie.
there. You
You know,
go. Yeah, yeah. No
but
kidding.
yeah, you know, and it's got that flair to it. But my kitty cat's down here,
Oh, okay.
so she's demanding my attention.
Demanded your attention.
Um,
Now,
so what were we talking about?
we
Go
were
ahead.
talking about live stuff, but I was gonna kind of
Live.
crowbar
Oh,
the other
wait a minute,
thing.
really quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
so there's three elements, and it's all explained on the liner notes. There's a concept that's written out: acoustic, electric, live, and then the hybrid is all of it
Mhm.
mixed, edited together. So those three environments have always been the strong point for our band. We could
Mhm.
do acoustic. We played acoustically opening for Matchbox 20 one time, which
Oh,
is a
wow.
tough
Yeah.
gig.
Right.
We've played electric opening for Testament and Slayer over in Europe.
Oh, geez.
Well, we almost got booed off the stage at that one.
How much tweaking to the set did you do to kind of, or did you?
Yeah, we can tweak our set however we want it, because we're capable of doing any of those things, acoustic, electric, whatever. And it's all, the songs are great no matter whether they're acoustic or electric. So that was the concept behind it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was going to mention live because I mean, it doesn't sound like you did much, if any, sweetening to the live material on this. And going back to further, I mean, I think the last thing you guys put out was the Full Throttle, live at Sturgis
Yeah,
album. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that sounds genuinely live as well,
it is. Everything, the 5-man acoustical jam album that we put out in 1990 back in the day was all live from the Trocadero. I mean, we strive to keep it real, mistakes and all, and raspiness, and you know, our favorite records. Myself, I'll speak for myself, and I think I can speak
Right.
for the rest of the guys too. Are live albums like Aerosmith's live bootleg. That album just sounds so raw,
Hmm.
and Get Your Ya-Ya's Out by the Stones. um and going back to the first couple Van Halen albums, they were live in the studio. There's nothing that beats that realness. I mean, I love hearing Jimi Hendrix live from Woodstock, recordings where his guitar's out of tune and it's just on the edge of making you wonder what in the world's going to happen next. Those raw elements are what make things great. I feel, and I think a lot of people feel that way. And so yes, you're right. We kept it really live on the live stuff. It's all live. It's real. There's
It's all
no
live.
sweetening.
Yeah, and also, on Full Throttle, I mean, you also did the Aerosmith cover that you added there at the tail end of that thing. So
Yeah, which was live in my garage. And
also that's live too.
there's a
Yeah.
video of us playing
Okay.
live. The recording of that is a video performed live in my garage.
Well,
Which, if you walk out that door right there, make a
okay.
left, it's
And
right
that's
there.
where it is.
Yeah.
Nice. So, we'll talk about the CD. So, what about why not a CD? I mean, in this day and age, it seems like it's kind of not very expensive, or maybe it is expensive to press CDs. I don't know.
It's one of those things where CDs are on the downslope right now. I mean, I love them. I got boxes of them,
Same here.
but that wasn't up to us really. I believe that was more up to the manufacturing distribution company that was the ones putting up the money to make the stuff.
Okay,
Our biggest goal with this project was the 12-inch vinyl.
got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where that happened.
Right. So, okay. So we got a couple of things and I'll cut you loose. Thanks so much for your time. It's always I've chatted with you a few times. Yeah, we can always get into other stuff, but I think we'll keep it simple. You guys are from based out of Sacramento initially. I mean, the scene there was what? I mean, I actually was born out in that area. I'm from Yuba City, so I'm out near Sacramento.
Yeah.
It's just a few minutes away, but back when you guys were starting out, I mean, what was the scene and what is the scene like there now?
When we were starting out in the 80s, 1982, 1984, music in general was so much fun, and it was more geared to poppy top 40 music. The British heavy metal scene hadn't really quite made a comeback yet. And even if you listen to the first couple Aussie albums, like Crazy Train is a great pop song,
Mhm.
you know. So it was a scene back then. It was a nightclub scene where people would go dancing, and it was top 40 music. And we started off in the garage, and we were playing at backyard parties, and then we would play hall parties where we would rent a hall that was, a big warehouse, and then there would be kegs there, and all our high school friends would come there, and we were playing more AC/DC and Scorpions and Iron Maiden and heavy metal music, but we couldn't really digress past that. So in order to play the nightclubs, we had to learn what were they called top 40 music, which was all the hits of the day. And that would be everything from Loverboy to Journey. Def Leppard was a big one. I mean, Photographs and Rock of Ages.
Right.
And so we dabbled in some of that in order to get paid and to make, progress and play bigger things. and open for people like Eddie Money. We opened for, there was national acts that would come through town, and we would open for them. And we had a home base at a club called the Oasis, and that club owner would always allow us to be the opening band for the national acts that would come through, until Ronnie Montrose was one of them that discovered us and told us, hey, quit playing this top 40 shit, get back to playing the rock.
Mhm.
So he coached us, and we started writing songs like Modern Day Cowboy and Changes and Easy Come, Easy Go, and Coming at You Live, and those rocking songs that are on our Tesla's first album, which was in our hearts anyway. That was our roots. So we got back to our roots, and we broke out of the top 40 scene, thank God.
Yeah, no kidding.
As far as what it is now, I don't really know. I don't go out to clubs much anymore, but there are a lot of young artists that are in town here that are very talented. And JT Lux moved to Nashville.
Mm.
He's doing really good out there. I'm not sure what the Sacramento music scene is
Right,
like anymore.
Okay. So thank God you guys didn't move to LA and throw on the lipstick and spandex, though, because that
No,
that
no,
would
we
suck.
were luckily encouraged not to do that.
Awesome. So, couple more things, and I'll cut you loose. Thank you so much. So, one of the questions that constant comes up, and I asked you about this last go around, last time I got a chance to speak with you. I think at that point you were promoting a Time to Rock and Cold Blue Steel. But any chance of you guys kicking around the idea of a Tesla box set? Because I think that's always a huge thing with the fans. They always want to see something special like that from Tesla.
That idea for a box set has been kicked around for ages. And there's always been some kind of hang up with the ownership of our early demo tapes. I think Warner Brothers or somebody owns it. I don't really know. That's not my department.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point, I don't think a box set is going to happen yet, but the guy that would be to talk to about that is Brian Wheat. He's really into those kinds of things, and he's been fighting for years trying to make a box set happen.
Okay.
And the good news is, though, is I did dig up some old demo tapes, cassettes of Playing Tough and Heaven's Trail and all the work tapes that we did for the second album. They're like outtakes,
Oh.
But there again, we don't know if legally if we can put that stuff out.
Sure.
So,
Okay, got it.
Box sets are kind of a thing where
Right.
it just shows the past.
Yeah.
And I think we're more focused on the future.
On the future. So, all right, fair enough. Last thing, well, there's two more things. One thing, you mentioned the Roth. You guys landed the opening support slot for Roth. Do you have any kind of Spinal Tappy type story from that tour with Roth? A fresh up and coming Tesla now supporting David Lee Roth, one of their idols.
Well, that was our first big tour ever. And it was our first time that we were ever on a tour bus. And we had speaking of Spinal Tap, we had an English British tour manager.
Okay.
And none of us had ever really been around a hardcore British guy,
Right.
With the accent and the whole demeanor.
Yeah.
And somebody did the cardinal sin of taking a crap on the bus. It wasn't me.
All right.
But who shot in the loo? Who shot in the loo? Our tour manager comes yelling on the bus.
Right.
Who shot in the loo? And we didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
How long did it take to figure it out? What he meant?
In the loo. Okay, there's some new dialogues for you there. You can figure that out.
Right.
And then so that was the first day of the David Lee Roth tour. I mean, we were kids. We didn't know. It turned out it was one of our roadies that did it.
Oh, geez.
Okay, so Fast forward to the end of the tour,
Mm-hmm.
and David Lee Roth invites us up to his hotel room. First time we had, we saw David Lee Roth walking in the hallways, but we never really got a chance to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he would go running around in like Buffalo, New York in a blizzard, man. And he would be out there jogging. He was like a health nut, karate guy. Well, fast forward to the very last night of the tour, and he wasn't so healthy. He was partying.
Mm.
And he had a fingernail that was really long
Okay.
that he had a
Right.
pocket, and it served a purpose.
Right. I know what
I'll
you
just
mean.
leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh no. So
Okay.
the fingernail. All right, we got it.
You got plenty of dirt, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna
there
get
you
me
go.
in trouble with that
Yeah,
shit.
that's probably enough. Thank you so much, Frank. Hey, best to you guys, and I hope to catch you again soon. You guys play regularly out in Oregon at the Chinook Winds.
Hey, let me get buddy.
Yep. Bye,
Peace
man.
out.
Yep.